Welcome back to the Restaurant Show. With me now is Angela Neff from New Glarus Bakery.
Justin.
Welcome, Angela.
Thank you.
First time on the Restaurant Show. Good to have you.
You betcha. Thank you. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah. So the first question I think in everybody's mind is, where is the New Glarus Bakery?
The New Glarus Bakery is in New Glarus, Wisconsin.
Okay, great.
We're downtown. We're right off of First Street. Third business on the right, blue awning out front.
Excellent, excellent.
So, yeah.
You've been around for quite a while. I mean, the New Glarus Bakery has been around for quite a while.
We are actually the oldest bakery in the state of Wisconsin. Wow. We really are. Back in 1910 is when the business started, and then the building where we reside is actually 1916.
Okay,
so, yeah.
Very good. So 100 years in the same building.
100 years in the same building, long time.
A lot of history there.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see what we're making today. We're making bratzli.
Yes, you
Tell
said
us
it
a little
right.
bit.
Yes, congratulations, you said it right, yay!
So tell us about it.
Bratzli is a traditional Swiss cookie. It's made 4 at a time on an iron.
Okay.
And I've got the iron preheated here.
Okay.
It's very laborious to make. We make the dough actually in our big bowl, obviously, but we run it off on our cookie machine so we get little nuggets.
Okay.
So we've kind of pre-portioned them so when we make these, it's easier to, kind of cruise along to make them. But they are a traditional Swiss cookie. Usually they're really popular at Christmas time, but we have such a high demand for them, we make them year round.
Okay, all right.
We do.
And you just recently did a Christmas in July, or are you still in the middle of doing Christmas in
We
July?
are Christmas of July, yep.
Okay.
We're doing our pre-orders stolen. Our gingerbread cookies are all dressed in red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
So cool creamy desserts like the cheesecake and bratzlis to go.
Sure,
So, yeah.
bratzlis to go. Okay, well,
Yes.
let's see how the process.
Okay. Well, the iron likes to be a little temperamental, so the dough has to be chilled or very, very cold. We try to freeze them and then thaw them out.
Okay.
And we pre-press them down so
Sure,
we
all
can
right.
get them kind of accurate here.
So you put these through your cookie machine and it cuts them to the exact right proportion.
Correct, yep. And sometimes we have leftover dough that we kind of hand portion out too at the end because we don't want to waste anything.
Sure, of course not. Of course not.
So we bring it down a little bit, and this is where the technique kind of comes into play. You notice the steam.
Yes.
It's kind of sizzling a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of get the feel in the knack after you've done thousands of these cookies because we sell them at a dozen in a package at a time.
Sure.
So I'm going to open this guy up, and we've got 3 really great ones.
Okay.
So I'm going to make some room over here. I'm just going to kind of take
So are
them
these
off
done
here.
already?
They are done.
That's
yes.
it?
They are done.
Yeah.
They are done. We have customers who love them at this color. Otherwise, if they're a little too dark, the staff eats them. Oh wait, I do too. They are fantastic
Okay.
over ice cream.
All right.
They are.
All
So when they're done like that, what we do is if we've got a little bit of dough stuck together here,
Sure.
we just kind of let them, sit
Sure.
by themselves. And then when they are done, you can actually handle them.
So they look pretty soft coming off, but
Yes.
then when you pick them up, they're nice and firm, almost like a cracker.
Correct.
All right.
Correct. Yep. Pizzelle is a cousin. It's an Italian cousin. And the difference between the two, besides iron, Pizzelle has 2 pieces instead of 4 at a time on the iron.
Yeah.
The Pizzelle actually has more flour in the dough than, it has a higher flour ratio. Right now, this batch has 40% butter. In there compared to the flour quantity. And then some people flavor it with almond emulsion, which we do.
Okay.
Some people do the anise flavor, which is the black licorice flavor.
All right.
And then some people really get fancy, and they'll make these into cones around a wooden conical
Sure.
shape, and then they'll fill them with ganache, whipped cream,
That's like
fruits.
kaka.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
I want to take a little bite of it.
Yeah, go for it. Yes.
You sell these by the dozen, like
We
packs
do.
of a dozen. Okay.
We do. And in this weather, it's hot out, it's humid. After they're done, we have to bag them very quickly in these bags.
Okay.
And then we basically put them in the bags once they're cool because we don't want the humidity to get to them.
And are these
And then twist
available
them and
at
sell
the
them.
store, or do the people have to order these?
We try to make them available as much as possible. We also mail order them too.
Okay.
So we do 6 dozen at a
Sure.
time. In a container, and yeah, but if you really are looking for large quantities, please call us ahead, 608-527-2916.
Numbers below on the bottom of your screen there.
Yep.
So I got to ask about this iron, because we had some fun getting this iron set up here today before the show started. I mean, this is obviously a pretty unique thing. Where did you get it, and if people wanted to do this at home, where would they get this iron?
Believe it or not, the only Brotzli source is really in New Glarus, Wisconsin. Really? It's at Esther's European Imports, right across from the bakery.
Okay.
She's got all sorts of European, Swiss traditions over there. But you can order one of these. But the interesting part is they no longer make them in the 110 volt. You have to buy a converter, a 3,000 watt converter to be exact, because the cable looks like this.
Oh.
So this is really traditionally from Switzerland.
So this is as authentic as it gets here in Wisconsin.
Yes. Yep.
Absolutely. Okay. So, I mean, you talked a little bit about the recipe. I mean, is there anything, obviously there must be different variations of this.
There are.
You talked about an almond emulsion.
A flavoring, yep.
Emulsion, is that the right word?
Okay. The emulsions, the difference between an emulsion and an extract is emulsions are created to withstand high heat temps.
Okay.
Whereas the vanilla, like vanilla extracts, you really have to add a lot more to retain that vanilla flavor after the baking process.
Okay.
So those are more to be used like in candies where you don't bake them or bring them to a high heat.
Sure.
So we have an almond emulsion that we use. It is local. It is all natural, and that's what we use at the bakery to flavor these up.
Excellent. Can I make some?
Sure.
All right.
Let me plug this guy back in.
Yeah, let's plug her back in here. So all I got to do is just take these nuggets.
Yes, take the nuggets.
Okay.
Got to put more. Typically, you want to put it more towards there, towards the back end.
Okay.
Yep, there you go. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, there you go. Ooh, I left 4 nuggets for you. Yeah.
Perfect. That's what I was thinking.
Okay, so now when you bring it down, go ahead and bring it down. Yep, now press and squeeze.
Okay.
Steam.
And steaming, we'll get our facials.
Yes,
together.
the facials. Yes, the Brotzli facials today.
I imagine like your whole body just smells like this after you've made it for a few hours.
And since we make it upstairs in the kitchen at the bakery, sometimes I walk upstairs, and if we're, if our seasonal gal comes in to help make these, all of a sudden, like the whole kitchen is blue. I'm like, you might want to turn on the exhaust hood.
Right.
But it smells so good. We get drunk in our own smell. So let's.
There it is.
Ta-da!
I did it. Angela, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll have you back. Don't go away. There's more restaurant show coming up right after this. Stick around.